Shalom Aleichem Rabbi Isai. We are back with Hachzik, and today we'll finish up Mishnah Tes. Rabbi Yechon ben Zakkai continues educating his Talmidim. Tzu'u u'ra'u ezehi derech ra shisrachik mimena adam. Now that you went and found a good midah that a person should build his life around or should become a shalom in, go see what is something that you should stay away from. And that's okay. That's normal. You know, everything. The world is not a safe place per se. It's full of good, and it's also full of not good. And a person needs to know how to digest. Just like food, you eat food, the body knows how to digest. It knows how to take the good and spit out the bad. So the same thing is happening here. Find the good. That was yesterday's Mishnah, yesterday's part of the Mishnah. And today it's know what the bad is and know how to run away from that thing. No different than how we digest food. Food, you know what's good, the body knows what's good, and spits out the bad. So what is the bad over here? So it sounds like a very simple Mishnah, and we'll see the Rabbeinu Yaina is going to educate us why the Mishnah has to quote unquote waste words over here. It's kind of obvious that if Ayin Toiva is the right way to go, so then Ayin Ra is not the right way to go. So we'll see the Rabbeinu Yaina inside in just a minute. We'll just read the Mishnah. Rabbi Lezer Omer Ayin Ra, Rabbi Yeshua Omer Chaver Ra, Rabbi Yossi Omer Shachen Ra, Rabbi Shimon Omer something new. Haloiv ve'ena mishalem. Echad haloiv min adam keloiv min hamokim. One who borrows from a person is like he's borrowing from a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Shenemar loiv rasha ve'lo yishalem v'tzadik choynein v'noisein. Rabbi Lezer Omer leiv ro. Amar lehem, says Rabbi Yechon ben Zakkai, roya ani es divrei Rabbi Lezer ben Aroch shebechlal devorav divreichem. Again, Rabbi Lezer ben Aroch, let me just remind myself, he was the Mayan HaMizgaber. He was able to, right? He was the big Lamdan. So he was able to zero in on the Etzem Zach, on the Yesod Adavar, and every Yesod is a foundation. A foundation, holds everything, right? So it's Bechlal Dvarav. Bechlal Dvarav, everything is Divrechem, is in there. Okay. That's the Mishnah, and says Rabbeinu Yaina as follows. Amlem tu'ru izik derech ra shisrachik mena adam Rabbi Lezer ayin ra. Tzrichim anu lefar she'ilasoi us shuvasam. We have to give an explanation here to what was Rabbi Yechon ben Zakkai's question and their answer. Ki davar yaduhu shehefech min haderech hayishara hi haderech shisrachik mimena adam. If I told you that ayin toiva is the right way, obviously ayin ra is the wrong way. But says Rabbeinu Yaina, it's a chidush. It is a chidush, because the way he explained Ayin Ra, let's see like this: V'anochen ki mipnei sheyesh kama midos toivos shehefchan einoi ra. The opposite might not necessarily be a davar ra be'etzem. For example, ki midas hachasidus, which is how he explained Ayin Toiva, she'im ma'ila gedol ad me'oid ve'im lo yischased lo yikare ra. A person is not going to become a chassid. He's not evil person necessarily. Al kain Omer Ayin Ra. No. I'll tell you a chiddush. Ayin Ra is a bad thing to do. Keloimar Midas Hakilus. This was, Rabbi Isai, for me, a new word. I never saw this word before, and I don't really know what it means. I don't know the exact translation, but I will show you an incredible reference, which I think is very, very a very good zushtel. I'll share it with you in a minute. Midas hakilus. Leval tachshav ki midas hanedivus. Okay, so the English translation, they translate it as stinginess. I never heard that before, but that's how they translate it. Leval tachshav ki midas hanedivus hi toiva achakilus enera. Okay, so being a chassid is a great thing, but, being a little bit stingy is not so bad. Asher lo yashakoy, I'm not stealing. V'lo gazel esamisai. But Ra'asai Rabba, the Ra is tremendous, terrible. Ki, he Yesoid Kol Midara. It is the foundation, the Yesoid of all bad midas. Umimeni Yavalas is Davara. And if you live a life of stinginess, you will end up coming to do bad things. Fine, I'm not going to be a grace chassid. I do what's right, and I stay away from what's wrong. This is a terrible chisaron for him. Of course, forget about what he's going to get in Olam Haba. He's missing out. Even here. Darshaning this pasuk, and I'll be honest with you, I don't fully understand it. So we'll read the words, and we'll hope that what the pasuk says. First it has to be beficha, and then one day it'll reach the leiv. We'll understand it. But the pasuk says like this in Kahel: Zevuve maves iyav ish, will rotten. Yabia shemen rekeach, sees fine oils. Yakar mechachma mikavod sichlus ma'at. Yakar mechachma, better than chachma, mikavod sichlus ma'at. Again, this is very cryptic for me. I can't really understand it just from reading the Rabbeinu Yen here, but he's going to try to explain. Right to Leimer, kasher hazvuv, a fly, shehu katan, is very small, mafsid legamre el hadavar chashuv shu shemen harekeach. He's completely being mafsid this gold mine called shemen harekeach. Kain sichlus me'at, right? A little bit. Oh, so that's what it means. Meaning you have a. I got it. See, so you have a bowl full of the most precious oil, yeah, and then a little zvuv comes and dies in there. Okay, it's mafsed the whole thing. Tiny little zvuv. That's it. You gotta throw it all in the garbage. Kain sichlus me'at. A small little amount of sichlus. Meaning, sichlus in the fact that I don't have to be a chassid, I'll just be regular. That's a small amount of sichlus. Mafsid lamishu yakar mechachmo mekavod. Is going to be mafsid a person, tremendous yakar from chachma and kavod. Okay, so that's Maridik Pshat. See, schus hachzik. We learned the Gevaldik Pshat here in the pasuk in Koheles. Gam midas hakilus goyremes leish shelo yale b'malos hamidas hatoivos. He's not going to ever steig. Umimashmos Hashem moirekain, and it's from the mashmos of the word, how it describes kilus. Shenikra shmoi blial. Ayin ra is blial. Kelomer blial l'shum mida toiva. He's not he's not able to go up. Ya'al, go up to any mida toiva. Kamosh matzin ben novel a karmeli. Mimnei she'amar v'lakachti es lachmi v'es meimai v'es tivchasi. Begoimer. Again, this is beyond my pay grade. I don't know Nach too well, unfortunately. V'nemer olav al no yosim adoini es liboy el ish hablial hazeh al novel. Okay, so Rabbeinu Yonah is definitely learning something from these psukim that I'm okay. I don't fully understand that part, but I want to bring you a muridic reference to this word kilus, new word for me. I'm very excited about this word. It's a new concept for me. And you see here throughout this Rabbeinu Yonah, ayin toiva and ayin ra, it's all referring to this midas hanedivus, right? What midas hanedivus? Bas nodiv. Avram Avinu is called, anybody who becomes a ger is called a bas nodiv, the offspring of the generous one. Avram Avinu was the nodiv, right? Amalekei Avram. Nedive amim ne'esafu amalekei Avram. Yeah? So Avram Avinu was a nodiv. And Avram Avinu, right? In the parish of Avram Avinu, we find the polar opposite of Avram Avinu, and Avram Avinu even davened for them, was Sodom. Sodom, and we know the Ramban says that lo nigzar dinam ella al hachesed. They didn't do chesed. They were like the spitz of ayin ra, according to the Rabbeinu Yonah. They were not ayin toiva. They were not bamidas hanedivus. They were mamish polar opposites from Avram Avinu. And what is right? So it's amazing. Look at the lashon of the pasuk. Vayomer Hashem zakas sedoim va'amora ki rabba v'chatosam ki chovda me'oid. It's like terrible. Ere dana ve'ere. Let me go down and see if it's really true. Haketza'akosa abo elai osu kolo ve'im loy eida'a. All right, that is not sure exactly, the wording of this pasuk and how to teach it, but look at the word kolo. I want to go see ere dana ve'ere, and I'll see haketza'akosa abo elai osu. Is it really true what I'm hearing? Osu kolo. Kolo, that's their midah. Midas hakilus, kala and kilus, same word. I find that to be a very nice connection. I think it's emes. You can let me know. RabbiMatiSweet@gmail.com. Or whatever. Okay, next. Rabbi Yeshua Omer. Chaver Ra. Rabbi Yossi Omer Shachan Ra. So, no, okay, so the Rabbeinu Yonah says, B'Yossi Atzmai Ra. So this one, it's like a shtickle, wrench for the Rabbeinu Yonah, and he doesn't seem to fix it. And I don't have an eitzah, but this would fall into the category of this is a davar pashut, that if a chaver toiv is the midah, so the opposite would be superfluous to say. The Rabbeinu Yonah doesn't seem to address the shayla, and I don't know why. So a little bit of homework. We can maybe work on that together. Okay, Reb Shimon Omer Haloi v'veina mishalem. So here the Rabbeinu Yonah says the obvious thing that has to be said. Lo yochel lemer bechlal hefech min haroyas hanoilad. There's no such thing as, the hefech. She yirchak mimena adam shum midara. Shekol adam beruchik mimena me'elav. Everybody does that by themselves. Ach yochel lidovik ba al yedei hapoyel. But if you want to be koinem, that midah toiva that I said before, called roya esanoilad, a way to be dovuk in that is to be a loive ve'enoi is to be a loive u'mishalim. But a loive ve'enoi mishalim, that is a way to stay a person that's roya esanoilad. It's a good cham. V'lokach davar acher sheyesh lo adam liroy esanoilad u'misha ina re'eu enoi misrachim miderech ra kemoi. Can I pay it back? I had this. I'm a shtickle. Okay, whatever. Sometimes you have regrets, but I was given an opportunity of a lifetime. I literally was given an opportunity of a lifetime. And we were sitting down with a calculator. Can you come up with this? Can you come up with this? A month. And I was, quickly calculating with, what I had now. And I didn't, think of other ideas in future. L'maisa, the numbers didn't make sense. It didn't make sense right then and there. Right then and there, it didn't make sense. I have charata that, okay, fine, get a different job and, work it out. You're getting an opportunity of a lifetime. So, whatever, okay? But it's, you have to think. You can't just say, yeah, give me the money and we'll take care of it. You have to know your matzav a little bit, It could be I didn't do the right thing because I was too much loiva u'mishalim, scared about this loiva u'mishalim. But it has to be with a grain of salt. Okay, so that's enough for that. Echad haloive min adam keloive min hamakom baruch hu. Shematzinu halva b'Hakadosh Baruch Hu. We find that the Rebbeinu Shalom is a malva. Shenemer malva Hashem choinen dal ugem lo yeshalim lo yiroitz loymar kilu malva Hashem choinen ladal v'sochar godol yesh lo. A person who is like that has a big schar. He gives that money. He's like the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So Shomer keloive min hamakom keloimer leval tachshav dal, meaning, a kruma person would learn up this pasuk, in a kruma way. I'm done. I don't have what to pay back. Finished. I went to Bezdin. They saw my accounts. I have nothing to pay back. You have to realize that that person who was malveh, he was acting in the way of a Kodesh Baruch Hu, and it's as if the Rabbeinu Shalom was really malveh the money. And even though you're pater midinei adam, you're still chai b'dinei shamayim. Ki ilu min hamalkim baruch hu lavisi hu adavar alecha. Ve'im ata pater midinei adam, ach lo midinei shamayim v'chasher lo ti pater im hayadin beincho bein Hashem yisbarach, kein biyois lechadin halvaim b'nei adam, eincha pater af alpi shebnei adam patrucha. Diksiv loy v'rasha v'lo yishalem, v'tzadik v'choynim v'noisein. Koloymar, kemen shel loy v'einu mishalem rasha hu. Af alpi she'ein loy. Even if he doesn't have what to pay back, he's still considered a Russia because you didn't make the cheshbon originally. Ki b'tchila ha'ayin b'ma yifre'enu, aval hatzadik ein nekach, achu choinen b'noisen, keloymar, ma sheyesh lo litin lefroya, b'chein yitnenu. Ki al kach hu nizar b'tchila saperoin, me'ayin yavo, where am I going to pay it back from? V'af al pi, she'adam ha'perei achoy v'yein machzikin l'toiva, it's not something to, be proud of. You don't get any schar for that. Achatzadik shehu b'derech eretz chein bisifsoisov, ucheshemachzer memenu b'nei adam machzikim l'toiva v'nasen oyhavov al yedei oisoi mamen shemachzer lehem. Rabbi Lezer oimer leiv ra, omer lehem roya ani es divrei Rabbi Lezer ben Aroch mid divreichem shebechlal dvarav divreichem. Again, leiv ra and leiv toiv is koilel everything. It's like the midas hamalchus koilel everything. Rabbi say the Rabbeinu Yoina is not Ma'arech over here on this concept of leiv. The subject of leiv is a big subject. I won't talk about it now, but know fully that it is a massive subject, and it's kedai to get it clear. So, if you see anybody talking about it, you should, pay a listen. It's a big subject, and leiv tov is taka koil everything. I'll just tell you one vort. I'll tell you one vort. How leiv ra, it's like so crazy. It's mamish crazy. It's all in the leiv. Kitzer, we had in Parshas Shlach just recently, lo yisasur acharei levavchem acharei nechem, right? So Rashi says that the einayim, lo yisasuru, the pasuk says, they're like spies. They spy out the world, and the eyes see, v'alev choymed, right? So they're the spies, and they collect the information and put it in the leiv. If that is true, and it is true, so then why does the pasuk put leiv first? And here, and this is a big question, and I think my Rebbe asks the question, and I think others ask the question, why is leiv first in the pasuk? It should be lo yisasur acharei nechem. Your einayim are the spies. Lo yisasuru, the einayim are the spies. And then acharei levavchem. And the answer is that before the eyes see, the leiv has its wants. It has its, ritzoinus. It has its desires, okay? Chemda. If it's money, if it's other chemdas, okay? Which, shaykh, a private vad, not something that you can, videotape. But l'maisa, the heart is conscious and wants something. And the eyes will fulfill that need. For example, you could look at a doimim, mamish a doimim. It happened to me this week. I will not say exactly what the story is, but you'll have to, think about this. You'll see it in your own life, tens, if not hundreds of times a day. You look at a doimim, mamish, a doimim, and you can see something that the guy sitting next to you has no clue what you're talking about. Really, not a clue what you're talking about. And the only reason why you see what you see in that doimim is because your heart was desiring that thing like crazy. And all of a sudden, there was like epis adimion, that the eyes caught on, boom, it's there. And now you go crazy. You just go get that thing. That's how it works. And that's why it's lo yisasur acharei levavchem acharei nechem, because the leiv is the root of everything. And if the yesod is good, you'll see lots of good in the world. And if it's rotten, you'll see a lot of rotten things in the world. The question really is how to fix the leiv. It's another spiel. It's a whole nother sugya. And it's big. And it's a raya from the Rabbeinu Yoina how big it is, because the entire Sefer and 100 more of these Sfarim wouldn't be enough material to discuss this subject. It's Aruka Me'eretz Midah. So I'll leave you with that, and you should all have a wonderful day. Tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem, Mishnah Yud.